Hello, my name is Mercury, and welcome to this brand new episode of Media Fair. It's been a while, hasn't it? And I am sorry for anyone who has been wearing headphones or is even out in public. I don't know why you're out in public isn't doing on speaker. But if you're not wearing headphones, then I probably just scared a bunch of people. I'm not scared, but definitely surprised a bunch of people in your vicinity. And if you're wearing headphones, I may have blood on your eardrums with the intro. But that's beside the point. I know it's been over a week. Are we gonna still upload all those episodes that were supposed to come out in November, and they're gonna be in like the next few days in December, and also that will push back some episodes that they're gonna be this week? Yes, we are, and I will assure that happens because I will be recording a bunch of episodes back to back to back in like at least one or two sessions. So I won't be recording a lot of the episodes until they are like not mass produced. I won't be rushing them or anything, but mainly until they are in a place, in a spot where I'm satisfied, like the time. And obviously, when they're all recorded, I will be releasing them all because that's just what I should do. So yeah, and like this isn't like a July situation where we just didn't have episodes for them and I just didn't want to record anything. We do have episodes slated and I can't just cancel them. So, and I don't want to push back anything. So yeah, you're stuck with me. You're stuck with like 9 episodes coming out in the space of maybe 48 hours. I can't promise anything, but there will be a lot of episodes coming out in the next few days that I don't know if they will do anything. I guess I'm just like shooting shit into the air, just like hoping something happens because I want to get these all out as soon as possible. And I know releasing fucking 8 episodes it's like in a few days isn't exactly the best thing. I know that YouTube only sends out notifications up to 2 a day. I think that's what it is. I think it's 2 a day. But I don't give a shit. I just need these episodes out so we can get the stuff any other year, like in the rest of December. So yeah. Anyways, today we are talking about Jurassic Park. A year ago, which is a year after the movie came out, we reviewed Jurassic World Dominion, and we also, I'm pretty sure, like a year or two ago, we reviewed Jurassic World Camp Cretaceous Season 1 and Season 2. We also reviewed Chaos Theory a couple months ago. I still have not watched Season 2. That review for Season 2 Chaos Theory should be coming in January, if all goes well. So, yeah. That is, you got that to look forward to. January release date for that. But I digress. So I've made it my task to go back. Why am I fucking saying that so weird? To go back and watch all of the Jurassic Park movies. There are only like 5 others. Plus, there's a new one coming out next year in July. I'm pretty sure. So perfect timing. We're probably gonna have them all out by that time. Hope naturally, I don't fucking think so, but it's definitely fucking possible. So who knows, right? But we will have most of them out by the time that Jurassic World Rebirth comes out. So, without further ado, let's I'm gonna dive into a little bit more. I wanted this episode. There's a bunch of fucking things going wrong with the episodes this time around, but this episode was meant to come out last year for the 30th anniversary of the movie. The movie's 31 now, but it was supposed to come out for the 30th anniversary. That's what it was supposed to be, and of course, that didn't turn out the way I wanted to. I wanted to bring on guests for this episode. As you can tell, again, that didn't work out the way I wanted it to. And you're stuck with fucking me, with literal me, talking about a movie from over 30 years ago, which does make this the oldest piece of media we have ever discussed on Media Fair. So I don't know, round of applause for that, I guess. If you want to give a round of applause, I don't know why you would, but hey, it's a cool little tidbit. The record was held by Iron Man for quite a bit because that was in 2008. But yeah, no, Jurassic Park is the oldest piece of media that we will have been like we have reviewed as of yet. That will be beaten soon because I made an episode on Beetlejuice. That means we'll make an episode on the first Beetlejuice movie, and that was from a few years before. That was from a few years before Jurassic Park, so that will become the oldest piece of media I've ever covered on Media Fair. But yeah, aside from that, Jurassic Park is the oldest for now. At least for now, it is the oldest piece of media covered on Media Fair. And I think that goes with some things. Some things I do have to mention. Yes, this movie is 30 years old. Yes, we've only really been reviewing stuff from the past decade or so. Maybe two. You know, the Iron Man movie is 16 years old by the time we reviewed it. It was only, I think, yeah, no, it was only 13 years old. I'm sure it's still like a fucking long ass time ago, but it's not 30 fucking years. 31. Um, so there's a lot of stuff to. There's a lot of stuff to really mention. Of course, the effects are not as good as what they are now. But it's still a technological marvel, and I will be discussing that because there is some respect to really half of this movie in the CGI department, even though it's not very, even though it is not something. It's not something that's on par here, but I do have to commend it for a lot of things. And number two, of course, this is the oldest one. Like, stuff may not be as it was a different time to how movies were made. There was a different. I'm not talking about like the controversial things. No, it's like movies were made differently. Of course, a lot of movies today have a lot of downtime that they spent talking about stuff with the characters and all that. But Jurassic Park is one of those movies that I explained it sort of in my review of Beetlejuice, but really, it's a style of movie making where something is always going on, and you almost, if you're like a normal person, you're not noticing. Now that's a bad thing, but it's smart. Like the character, the character progression is handled in a smart way where it's happening in tandem with the plot, and it's like pulled in there, and you don't. And obviously, sometimes you don't really see it, but it's happening. It's there, and I will talk about it. Uh, but yeah, no, it was a different. So I'm gonna. So the point is, it's a different way. I'm gonna have to handle this movie in a different way than I would have, like, for example, like talking a Marvel movie, because there's not a lot of fucking downtime here. Of course, some things I'm gonna admit. There's not the type of movie. Older movies, I don't watch a lot of, and I really should. I really should watch a lot of older movies, but I really just don't, and it's not something. And I should, but it's not a style that I'm really accustomed to. Even though Jurassic Park is one of the fucking pretenders, I've watched Jurassic Park a million fucking times. But Also, something that I was gonna say is that Jurassic Park is a very iconic movie in every single sense of the word. It's an iconic movie, and I don't know if I got like a 40-minute episode will be enough. I don't know. I'll probably be rambling on about this movie for quite a bit of time before even fucking starting about the review. But Jurassic Park is a very iconic movie where it lends itself to be quoted, to have every single one of its lines be a fucking quote. You, I guarantee you can go on any any part of the movie, like every line is a quote. Like you can make it into a quote from every line can be quoted from this fucking movie. It's insane. I don't know how they did it because the other Jurassic Park, the other Jurassic Park, Jurassic World movies don't ever do this. This movie is so quotable. Like every line is iconic. Like I can name quite a lot from the top of my head. Like look, we got dogs in here. Dachshund. We got dogs in here. Another one is there's so many ones. Like a big one, clever girl, or Ian Malcolm's you crazy son of a bitch, you did it, or another one for Ian Malcolm. Now that's a big pile of shit. Or Alan Grant's like they do move in herds. Or even like from the beginning, where the Dominican digger. I was like a singer. I guess Alan Grant's like me. He's a digger, but and like so yeah, there's like a lot of quotable lines in this movie, and another from Robert Muldoon. Like I want lasers on full charge. That's another one that's very quotable. So obviously, when you're watching the movie, now it's like, well, like this whole fucking movie's quotable, and like you recognize all the quotes, and you're not like maybe like not paying as much attention. Like watching Jurassic Park back, knowing what it is, like knowing the impact it's had on just just movies, like in entertainment in general, is just amazing to think about. And watching it back is also kind of hard because you're obviously pointing out at a lot of that stuff. Not an iconic line, but definitely an iconic moment is like Ian Malcolm's laugh. Like Ian Malcolm's laugh. For like when they're in a helicopter and all that, like when they're going on the island. What's it like another one like Ian Malcolm's just so quotable. Um like when you, like this line where Geraro, I think his name is Donald Geraro. Right? When he goes like to the bathroom, he's like, "Well, where you gotta go? You gotta go." Ian Malcolm's just such a quotable person. Again, another iconic one is "Must Go Faster," and that fucking "Must Go Faster" scene with the T-Rex looking at the with the T-Rex like being seen through the rear view mirror. It's been fucking referenced in everything. It's iconic in and of itself. So yeah, another just wow moment. it's kind of amazing to see how big this movie became. I think it's kind of insane, really. It's an insane concept to have. It's just such a wild thing. That's a movie that's so quotable and everyone loves it. I have not met a single person who doesn't like this movie. So yeah, there are no haters for Jurassic Park. And even then, it's one of the best. It's one of the best like dinosaur movies out there. Like period. It's one of the best I've seen. It's loved by critics, by fans. Again, such an impact on like pop culture and like just the entertainment business, like the film interesting in general, with all of its stuff. So I'm trying to say is that Jurassic Park is it's a very fucking important movie. It is a very important movie, and it basically is kind of, in a sense, film magic. What they managed to pull off with this movie, because even with the big progenitor of CG of computer animation, like CGI, Star Wars. It like even then, this movie used CGI in a way that was never used before, and it allowed people and allowed just allowed everyone to see what the technology could do and how to advance it. And Jurassic Park is one of the main reasons why CGI looks the way it does today. It's like one of like the main progenitors of that, because the CGI in this movie is really good. So, yeah. Ultimately, Faye, you know who we are. We are loudmouth, foul-mouthed people who have dumb opinions on dumb things. That's not how the song goes. We have dumb opinions on things. That's not our slogan, but whatever. We're who the fuck? We're not some pretentious film critic podcast where we have to where we look at things in a light where they can be appreciated by as art. No, we're fucking what? We're college students that just kind of like to watch movies and review them, and of course we have gotten into doing more of like notes and stuff, and like having like talking about characters and the action and CGI and the plot. But we're still media fay at heart, and we still go on all of these side tangents about fucking nothing, unless I'm the only one in here where I actually talk about shit. Which is why these episodes are probably a little bit shorter, because I kind of just get straight to the point. But anyways, I digress. So yeah, I think now, yeah, I know. It's pretty much exactly what I fucking predicted. In my head, I said, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna fucking preamble about Jurassic Park for like 20 minutes," and guess what? I fucking did it. I did it. So yeah, I don't have much more to say. Before getting into it, I've already kind of made a transition that I kind of fucked up. So yeah, so this movie is a big progenitor of CGI and of like the big CGI movement, but like the evolution of CGI and how it's used in films nowadays. So, how did this movie do? Well, of course, we're gonna look at it in a vacuum. I am not gonna be looking at anything post 1993 mainly because I don't think I've watched anything post 1993. I haven't watched much from the 90s. I will be admitting the only thing I've watched from the 90s is Back to the Future 3, which was a long time ago, and I don't remember much about it. I know I didn't like it as much as the first or second one, and I will die on this fucking hill. But Back to the Future Part 2 is better than the first one. I know it's I know it's a controversial opinion. A lot of people like the first one, but I love the second one so much more than the first one. It's one of it's I think either the or one of my favorite. It's I don't know. I think it has to be my favorite movie of all time, Back to the Future Part 2. I think it just has to be my favorite movie of all time. But anyways, yeah. So, again, kind of in a vacuum. I won't be looking at anything post 1993. So, I will only be talking about the CGI, how it's seen in the movie, and how like it is for the time. And for the time, and even for today, this movie holds the fuck up. It really does. And in like back then, this would have been impressive ass CGI. Of course, I was about to go. Oh, but yeah, of course. Like it evolved. It evolved into fucking. I forgot his name in fucking parts of the Caribbean, but it evolved into that guy. But obviously, it's only here, and in here, it's still very very good. Of course, it's fucking early 90s CGI, so it's not gonna be the best. But the T-Rex looks really good. The Raptors look really good. The Brachiosaurus look real. I know that Triceratops is real. I know that for sure. This movie also uses practical effects. I should have mentioned that right now. It also uses practical effects. There's a lot of animatronics. I know the T-Rex is an animatronic. I saw them are animatronics. I'm pretty sure that when they were going to make the movie, they were going to use miniatures at first. And that is like proven that we know those miniatures exist. But they are not they aren't exactly they were never used. I'm pretty sure they were never used, or they were never used for the movie, and they were like it's exhibited somewhere else. That I don't know. I do know that they were gonna use miniatures, but then they didn't use that. They didn't do that way. They didn't do it that way. So instead, they decided to make. So they made a full-on animatronic for the T-Rex, and they also made and also they use CGI, but they used some animatronics. So like the Triceratops animatronic. I'm pretty sure the rest of the. I'm pretty sure the rest of the. No, I'm also wrong about that. So the rest of them are CGI. Some I think also the Velociraptors are mostly CGI in most scenes, except I think that like the opening scene and the kitchen scene. No, not I don't know. I think it's the kitchen. Like, any running scene where you see just the Velociraptor move in a direct line and it's like pointing at their feet. That I'm pretty sure is practical effects, and I think that's somebody going like into like wearing like the leg coverings. Like I don't know. Like I guess boots would be like Velociraptor shaped boots, and I don't know, like Velociraptor feet shaped boots, or just prosthetics, like leg prosthetics. That's the better way to put it. Like Velociraptor feet shaped leg prosthetics, and they are they're walking essentially. What the fuck? I don't know what that was. I heard a noise. Anyways, so yeah, a lot of the stuff is CGI, but there's a lot of other stuff that is not CGI, and I gotta say, it looks really, really good. Like it just looked for the time, it was very good. Again, revolutionary for the time. Revolutionary in general, like just this fucking movie. Like it's impressive They were really like it's. I think it with this movie they're really experimenting with that kind of stuff. So them having like like them having that that sort of technology and how like them making something good with it, even though they were just experimenting with it, is a really cool thing to have in there. And obviously, that is something the only thing that it really like that you know that I had going for it. There was action here too. Of course, it's like action in quotation marks. It's not action as we really know it, but it is like action sequences. It's not like a fight sequence, but it's definitely an action sequence. And I think that's handled pretty well. I think that thing is hand. I think the action sequence is handled pretty well. Of course, the T-Rex one is iconic. That one's really good. The only thing that I gotta say is the thing that's been said for nearly 31 fucking years about this goddamn movie, but the plot hole about the T-Rex having to climb, even though we do know that the goat is there and there's like ground. The only explanation to that is like not likely at all is the fact that they forgot. I think the T-Rex just fucking climbed, even though that's not what happens at all. I don't know. Like that is a big plot hole, and also the fact that the T-Rexes are in the same enclosure as the Brachiosauruses, which I know T-Rex like in real life didn't really I don't think it hunted any sauropods, or he didn't try to. Sauropods are not easy prey. Let me tell you that. We're not easy prey. So having um what was I gonna say? I forgot. I forgot. Oh yeah, I like that. Yeah, like the fucking Plato's been yeah, the like the fucking T-Rex enclosure that's been talked about for generations now. A fucking generation was born, like two generations were born, like between that movie releasing and me talking about it, and everyone knows about. I'm pretty sure everyone in those two generations knows about this shit in their Jurassic Park movie. It's insane. Like it's such a big oversight, and they didn't catch it. And honestly, like, the action sequences with like the Lost Raptor, like the kitchen, like I mentioned, the kitchen sequence is very smart. I like how the kids outsmart the Lost Raptors in there. There's some things that are very very inaccurate. I'm just gonna put it here. Like the fucking like just say it here, the fucking finding the file sequence, having them like all stored in like, this really weird virtual shit, like it's just bizarre. It's just a bizarre way to show that stuff in there. Like that's not how computers worked, especially in the 90s when they had a pretty like a pretty good version of it with like the Netry stuff. Not even the Netry stuff. That shit didn't even like that was weird. But that was like at least 90s. That was like how the 90s looked. So yeah. Oh, please. That accurate stuff. Also, something I mentioned with the action sequences is that there are some that aren't here. This for all of you that don't know is not apparently not a thing a lot of people know. That is a very surprising thing, and I wanted to really give it a read. I'll probably have to end up titling this episode Jurassic Park movie because I may or may not review the book that this movie is based on, also called Jurassic Park, like the novel. I might have to call this movie. I just fucking realized. But yeah. Anyways, Yeah. Uh, yeah, this is based on a book, and there are a lot of things in this in the book. I should have probably put them behind inaccuracies or like adaptation, like how the adaptation is handled. But I didn't because I'm too fucking lazy, and I've actually not read the Jurassic Park novel. So yeah, there are a bunch of things that aren't here that I do know. Like for example, Dennis actually scene is a lot more graphic. It's essentially like how if for those who don't know, it's essentially how Alan Grant, not Adam Grant, Alan Grant describes the how you get killed by a Velociraptor. It's not exactly because instead of using the sickle claw, the Dilophosaurus uses their claws. But essentially, that's essentially what happens to Dennis Nedry in the book. He dies a very horrendous death. He doesn't get like mauled off screen. He essentially gets this like intestine spilled out. It's a very very good animation for it on YouTube. I would love to see people look at that. It's a very good animation for it on YouTube. But um all right. But yeah, like, it's a very gruesome death. He gets blinded, sure, but like it's told in a way where it's a lot more like obviously a lot more graphic because fucking Michael Crichton, he's a Michael Crichton is a fucking weirdo. But yeah. Also, there are two entire characters omitted from the movie. From I forgot what their names were. I think it's Martin Gutierrez or something like that. I remember, but they were two characters entirely omitted from it. There's another plot line from the book that's also going on the mainland. They're already broken out because they're velociraptors on ships and shit. Like and that plot line sort of bled through to the Jurassic World trilogy, which fucking dropped the ball. I will, you know what, fuck it, I'll rant. Here's your episodic fucking sideline for a video fed. Jurassic World Rebirth sounds dumb as shit. Yeah, I'll fucking say it. It sounds dumb as shit. It okay. So here's the thing. So apparently, like at the Jurassic World Dominion, for all you for those who don't know, this is really spoilers because fucking Universal said this that Jurassic World Rebirth takes place 5 years after Jurassic World Dominion, and what happens between those 5 years is that all of the dinosaurs that were living out in the wild begin to go extinct. Now, this would happen in real life because dinosaurs can't live in modern times. There's been at least 55 million years of the planet fucking changing. But yeah, like they wouldn't live in today's world. But obviously, the dinosaurs of Jurassic Park, Jurassic World, are not real 100% pure dinosaurs. So they've been made to be able to live in modern times. So now they are dying off, or at least they're going extinct again. Even though at the end of Jurassic World Dominion, it's stated that the it's stated that like at the end again like we talked about it on that episode, but like for no reason, the dinosaurs are now living in peace with the humans. Like that's just this is how it is. Like it's living They're living in peace with the humans. And apparently they're looking for the DNA of the biggest dinosaurs to find a cure for mankind's illness. Illnesses like what the fuck are you talking about? They're like rebirth sounds so stupid. It just sounds so stupid, and it contradicts everything that they do with Dominion. Of course, Dominion isn't exactly a perfect movie, and I actually don't like Dominion. I don't. I realized that a few fucking years ago that they never went into an explanation of why they didn't just ask. I went to an explanation of like why this movie kind of sucks, and it's because there's an entire big ass plot line, which is the fact that number one, the legacy characters are kind of brought in for no reason. They're just kind of there to be there, and the fact that the main plot of that movie entire us around like them kidnapping the what's her name? Macy? No, not Macy. I think it was Macy. Like kidnapping the girl. What was her name? She's fucking 29% Rotten Tomatoes, even though it made $1 billion. I think it was Macy actually. Yeah, Maisie. What the fuck? Yeah, Maisie Lockwood. Which is, I gotta say, that was one of the weirdest shit ever. But yeah, like they never really explain. Like they need her to them. I think to clone more dinosaurs, but they never really go into or to clone like more pure stuff. But they never. I know. Wait, it's the cure. Like to stop the locust infestation that's been going on. And yeah, like what happens is like they don't they don't they they fucking up like they don't explain that it's anything bad, that anything about what happened to them. So what I don't get is why Bison didn't just go and ask. Like it would have been so easy. Like, hey, like there's this big locust infestation, or like it's Doctor Wu wanting to ask. Like, hey, Wu's like, hey, I like because it's Wu's whole fucking plan. Like it's that entirely like, that's entirely Wu that wants to do that. So it doesn't like he's already going like it would have been just better if he just fucking I bit myself. But it would have been just better if he asked normally and I have them kidnapped. Like, hey, look, I'm fucking trapped in here, and I need to make this so it doesn't so we don't fucking die. I don't know. I don't like that at all. Oh, I'll talk about it later. Oh yeah, I'm talking about Jurassic Park. What the fuck? But yeah, like Jurassic World. I mean, it's a bad movie, but again, Jurassic World Rebirth sounds fucking stupid. It sounds like they're going in the direction of like Jurassic Park 4. Or what was it going to be Jurassic Park 4? Like the human hybrids and shit. It sounds awful, 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 awful. But yeah. But yeah, no. What was I going to say? Oh yeah, I'm talking about Jurassic Park. So yeah, uh, that's all I really gotta say about. We're not done. 40 minutes in, and I'm not done with the first point. I am done this first point. Actually, I am. This episode's gonna be fucking long. I can already tell. But yeah, so yeah, just kind of rounding out the CGI in action. The action is good. The CGI is great for its time, and yeah, no, that's not that shouldn't be surprising. Really, this is a very revolutionary movie for the CGI. Revolutionary movie for CGI to say. If you didn't fucking understand me, because I am very, uh, I am not understandable sometimes. Yeah, my so next up are the characters. All right, so the characters in Jurassic Park are not the film's main focus. That doesn't mean they're bad. They're just not what the film is all about. It's more about like them really you really looking at the CGI and how it works. Like, oh, look how impressive it is. Just kind of why I spent most of the fucking preamble on that shit. But the characters are still a big part of the movie. And again, like I was saying, this movie is very iconic. So obviously, the characters have to play a big role in why it's such an iconic movie. So we'll just get straight into it. With I guess the character has the most development of every single one of them. Dr. Alan Grant. So these are gonna be like these little things are gonna be pretty short for these characters. But Alan Grant is interesting. It's not interesting. He's fucking. He's basic. He's a paleontologist. That obviously their dig it isn't very profitable. They're running out of funds for their dig, for their quarry, and they take up the offer from John Hammond to look at his park and get it funded. I don't know if that's still what was still a thing. I don't know if he still had that by the time. I'm guessing he did, because we do see in Jurassic Park 3. I'm pretty sure. So yeah, yeah, like Alan goes out and takes up John Hammond's offer, and he gets kids, but like the main thing is that Lex and Tim, he spends so much time with Lex and Tim that he, oh, you know, that he uh that he learns to like kid, not he learns to appreciate kids and not hate them as much. Yeah, that's what I meant. He doesn't hate kids as much, but even by the time of fucking Jurassic World Dominion, he still doesn't have kids. So yeah, but yeah, he's the one I can really classify as going through character. Like, there's another character I want to talk about that does go through character development, but he is really the only one that I think does. And the other characters really just help realize, uh, like it's like specifically Alan Grant and John Hammond's character works. They help realize to them what what it's all about. So like, what the character, like where to go and all that. They really just define that. So you know that's mostly it. But Alan Grant, I feel like he's a good character. Again, a lot. What I was trying to say is that a lot of the '90s characters. A lot of the nice movies. I would, especially specifically blockbusters, I would say don't like at least this movie doesn't really focus a lot on its characters. It's not what it's there for, but they are well written and like they are entertaining. They're well written. So yeah, I don't know if that's just me being dumb and like looking at it, but these don't really like they don't focus on characters too much. That's fine. You don't need to focus on characters every fucking time. It's just like it doesn't give me much room to talk about it. But yeah, that's mostly what Alan Grant is really about, like him hating kids and learning to appreciate them or tolerate them. Really, um, what was I say? Yeah, Alan Grant is kind of there, and I do like that. I was saying like beforehand, like you don't even notice that's going on in the plot. I think that's pretty good. It's very good writing. I really do like that with what they did with Alan Grant in the movie. But again, there's just not much. There's not much to write home about. And I think these next two characters I'm talking about also not much more to write home about. Ellie Sattler is I think she's a supporting character. That's what she really is. I if we don't see much of her, I think it's one of the characters that we don't see a lot of in this movie. She does, I guess, try to make this to to make Alan see the greatness of having kids and all that, and she does help Hammond realize that I guess like his vision was too grandiose, and it's all just like he's still like just imagining things, and it's all just an illusion. Like he doesn't even have control of these animals and all that. Like it's very unpredictable. So yeah, like he does. She does help realize that stuff, and that's she serves a role as a supporting character, and I do really like. I didn't put a score on this. What? Okay, that's a first. I didn't put a score on my notebook for Jurassic Park, but I guess we should all know what the score for this movie will be. But I will be noting it down anyways, just to have that there. Yeah, no, okay. But yeah, there's not a lot to say about Ellie Sattler. Um, I don't think like she puts her hand down her shit. That's kind of cool. There's not a lot to say about Ellie Sattler. I think there will be more to say for in Dominion if we could kind of go back and rewind that shit and have notes for that, but we don't. We can't do that, so we're kind of stuck with this timeline of me not only talking about these characters, and the fact that Alex Sattler does not make any other appearances aside from Jurassic Park 3, and the movies she's the main character in are the first one and the latest one. But yeah, Ellie Sattler, I don't know, like no, I don't know. It's just like she's a supporting character. I don't know what else to say really. Job well. I think she's an interesting character definitely, and I do like that she's not like just kind of like just like she does take action and does call people out on their bullshit. I think that's very good, and she does help the other characters realize stuff. But yeah, aside from that, not much to say. The next one is Ian fucking Malcolm, the man, the myth, the legend himself. This character is one of Jeff Goldblum's biggest characters, and unlike I used to remember Sam Neill and to some extent Laura Dern. You could say that their most known role is in Jurassic Park, and that's a lot of things from a lot of actors from like the 80s and 90s. Nobody really knows any of the movies from them apart from like their big breakthroughs. Like, for example, I know Michael J. Fox was in a few movies in the 90s before he was diagnosed with Parkinson's, but everyone knows him for Back to the Future. Like that's it. Christopher Lloyd, he was also in a probably in a bunch of movies, but he's mostly known for Back to the Future. That's really the only movie that most people can like name from him. And like, you could say the same from Sam Neill. Sam Neill was brought back for Jurassic World Dominion, but he stayed mostly as a B-list actor uh, after Jurassic Park. That's mostly what you could say about Sam Neill. And Laura Dern has made her fair share of appearances in big stuff. She was in The Last Jedi, which is just fucking hell, Last Jedi. But she was in Last Jedi, and she's had her roles, obviously. She's got to sort of take the biggest out of the three, but Jeff Goldblum, he started he was he got I think he got big with where he started with Big with the Fly, the movie, and then went on to make this. So his popularity skyrocketed, and he has stayed in the public eye for quite a bit of time. Jeff Goldblum, he's in Marvel. He was recently in Wicked as the Wizard of Oz, which I think fits him quite well. I also watched a little bit of his series. I forgot what it's called. I think it's Jeff Goldblum. Where is it? The World According to Jeff Goldblum. I watched a little bit of that. I think I only watched like one season. I don't know why. I think I was trying to like watch all of the Disney Plus originals that came out the day that that Disney Plus released. Holy shit! The series was removed. Really? Can this fucking stop? The series is removed. Huh. This is fucking. Okay. This is kind of disappointing. So the series removed. We'll see. Yeah. That's kind of sad. I don't know where else you would find this show. My guess is that it's maybe no, it's just like I don't know. It might have been archived. No, you can't watch The World According to Jeff Goldblum. Uh, okay. Yeah, like he was. It was a bit. He's very big. Like he's a very big actor. So yeah, Jeff Goldblum didn't stay as a sort of a B list until for so yeah. I don't know much to say. Just I guess he was in Inside on the Loch Ness, which is a movie that came out. 'He was in Independence Day Resurgence. I remember that. Like he was in Marvel. Like he did this man got quite a bit of stuff afterwards, and obviously he kind of stayed with that. And I think Ian Malcolm is very enjoyable. He doesn't have the biggest character arc in the movie. In the movie, I will give it that. He's not exactly the most important character in the movie, but he is like he is important to the movie's message, and he does like put in the chaos theory stuff, and that's very entertaining to see him watch and seeing sort of like have that correlate to the movie and all that. I think it's very very smart. But it's not, he doesn't really have. He's not the love his character. He does sort of have that a character moment with Alan Grant, with him saying he loves kids. He has to be kids and he loves them and all that. So I for one like that about his character. But sometimes he doesn't have much of a character that's not being very charismatic and having the whole like chaos theory stuff, and having the most quotable lines in the movie to the boot. So yeah, I mean, not much to say. Really, not much to say about Ian Malcolm. I probably have much more to say about him in the next movie, which is Lost World, which will be talked about at some point in the future. I don't know, at some point in the future, definitely we will be talking about the Lost World Jurassic Park. We will be talking about all of them. It's just that it might take a while to get to them, but we will be eventually talking about the Lost World Jurassic Park. That is 100% happening. But yeah, Ian Malcolm is very entertaining. The next character I want to talk about is John Hammond, which John Hammond is again a very interesting character. I like that he has the second most development of the entire thing, and obviously he's very enthusiastic about the park. The thing is that he's sort of like blinded by all this like oh spirit no it's spent like you really like saying like oh this is for everybody like he's like he spent so much time in it, it's like he can't really believe that it's all going wrong. It's like so far up his own ass technically. So not really seeing what he has and like just like oh I want to make money. So that's mostly what John Hammond is. But obviously he has that little bit of humanity in him. He's not evil. He's not fucking novel John Hammond, which is just a bad guy through and through. Cause yeah, like that's some changes this movie made. John Hammond was like died at the end of Jurassic at the end of the first novel. He was killed. That man was dead at the end of of the first Jurassic Park novel. And I remember that, I don't know if we will read it at some point, but that was mentioned in one of the seasons for Camp Cretaceous, like that death. I think it might have been season 3, which we will be reviewing soon. We will be reviewing season 3 of Camp Cretaceous very very soon. So yeah, no. Look forward to that. Probably won't be as long as this episode. Goddamn. But yeah, um, I think John Hammond is a pretty good character. He's a pretty good character, and do enjoy his like character arc of him seeing that he that was like just kind of best off left where it was, and at least this power wasn't really made to be controlled by humans and all that. The chaos theory shit that was pointing out throughout the movie, like I like where his character ended up, and I feel like he's one of the better characters in the movie. The last secret I want to talk about is like the last ones I want to talk about that are kind of important in some ways. Lex and Tim. I feel like again these are the most supporting characters of the supporting characters. They're mostly there to really aid in Alan Grant's plot. Character arc. Fucking hell, character arc. So they're not exactly the most not the most developed. I like some of the comedy they have in there with obviously Tim poking fun at Lex being vegetarian, but that's not really like it's not funny to be it's a lifestyle being vegetarian. That's not really that funny, but they do make fun of her be kind of afraid of dinosaurs, and sometimes that's kind of funny with the Brachiosaurus sneezing on her. I feel like that's funny. Um, but yeah, there's not a lot to talk about these two characters. They just kind of aid in that, and I feel like they do quite a good job at that. Timmy being kind of like a big fan of Alan Grant is kind of learning who he is as a person, like, or at least Alan Grant showing him who he actually is as a person. I think that's a very interesting, a good way to take the character. I keep going through interesting and good. I don't know why, but yeah, no, it's a well written way of approaching it, and I do really enjoy that. Some other characters I could talk about is Donald Gennaro or Gennaro, whatever the fuck his name is, and he's fine. He has like the funniest death and the best death in the entire movie, and also I think not First Blood. That goes to the worker at the beginning, but yeah, he's definitely there. And obviously Robert Muldoon is iconic as well. We are sadly only in this movie, and then he died in the movie. And obviously the actor how he died as well. Death Century is iconic as well. Also, John Hammond was played by the late Richard Attenborough, which is the brother of David Attenborough, which you might recognize as the voice of all those fucking nature documentaries. Anyways, and also the narrator of Prehistoric Planet. But yeah, then there's oh, I actually forgot what I was going to talk about. I forgot the guy I mentioned. Yeah, Muldoon. Death Entry. Death Entry is also very enjoyable. I do like it. The entire plot revolves around him. I didn't fucking mention him here, but the entire plot essentially revolves around him. And that's that's cool. But as a character himself, I think he's also like good for what he is. Being like, it also kind of shows how just how Hammond really treats his park and the people behind it. But I guess he's much more of an ass in this version because in the book, like obviously John Hammond wasn't as nice as he is here. Dachshund shows up. Fucking, I want to talk about Dachshund, but the thing is, like, that would be kind of delving into the main territory. Number one, we already covered that movie, and number two, I'm pretty sure that Dachshund's entire character wasn't exactly going to be that important. Like I think he is important in the book, but he's not important in the movie. So yeah, I think he died in the book. He was a lot more important in the novel than in the movie. So a lot of stuff the book did that didn't really make it into the movie. it's not like the movie is bad because of it. It's just like very interesting to see like there's like, a lot of stuff in this movie that wasn't in its source material. Yeah, I think that's all I want to say about the characters. Next up, I want to talk about before moving on are the dinosaurs. So obviously, I've been gushing about the CGI for quite a bit, so I won't be gushing about it now. But I will talk about the dinosaurs' accuracy and how they work both as Hollywood monsters and dinosaurs. Obviously, the Triceratops is just kind of there. The Velociraptor is not that big, and also he is very like the Velociraptor in and of itself is very small, and obviously there's the Utah Raptor, which is there's the here's like there's the animal the Utah Raptor, which is one of the bigger dromaeosaurs, which is the family that Velociraptor belongs to, and yeah, they're pretty much around the same size of what the Velociraptor in Jurassic Park is. T-Rex is iconic. It is, I guess, kind of accurate to what a T-Rex is, like how it looks and shit. Brachiosaurus, at the beginning, the thing is with Brachiosaurus that we knew Brachiosaurus existed, but for some reason we didn't have a skull. We never found a skull for Brachiosaurus. We didn't know what it looks like. We thought that people thought that it maybe this other species in South Africa called Giraffatitan was a Brachiosaurus subspecies or species, which was not the case at all. It was Giraffatitan. So they kind of based so Brachiosaurus at least in Jurassic Park should be called Giraffatitan. But then they kind of made a more accurate one for the third Jurassic Park movie, which is has the second generation of Brachiosaurus. So yeah, no, I think Brachiosaurus is like not the least accurate because fucking Velociraptor's there. And Dilophosaurus. Dilophosaurus is even less accurate. The movie just try to at least it does explain that the one we find is a juvenile, but I'm pretty sure that everyone forgot about that. And Dilophosaurus doesn't have a frill, doesn't shoot poison. I'm pretty sure everyone would have found stuff about we would have found stuff about him shooting poison and him having a frill. Maybe I don't know how well frills work, but I'm pretty sure we'd at least find some evidence for it for fucking existing. But we don't have it. So yeah, Dilophosaurus is like the least accurate one. It's also Parasaurolophus, which we don't see a lot of, and it's very criminal that we don't have a skin for it in Jurassic World Evolution for 1993 Parasaurolophus, and I don't think we have. For all the skins the Parasaurolophus has in that fucking game, it is like that skin in of itself is like that skin is not one of them. It's impressive. But yeah, and Gallimimus shows up for one scene. And they look fine. They look like an Orthinosaur. But yeah, dinosaurs are very good. I think as dinosaurs they work less as dinosaurs and more like movie monsters. And I think as movie monsters they work just fine. It's just they were they were kind of based on. They were based on like. On dinosaurs, and it is explained that they have tree frog DNA in them, so it's not entirely accurate. But yeah. I think that's all I gotta say about the dinosaurs. Move on to the plot. Obviously, like I mentioned earlier, it's about Dennis Nedry stealing dinosaur embryos from the island. That's all. That's all it really kickstarts it. It's just that this happens at a bad time because people are on the island currently. And all that. I feel like it's a good plot. There are not a lot of problems with the plot and the pace I can really think of. Like for this movie, they're not a lot. Again, there's a big plot hole with the T-Rex the T-Rex scene. But like aside from that, that's mostly just like that's mostly just a mistake in production rather than the actual plot. Instead of that, I think this is just like borderline perfect. The characters mixing in here with all their stuff, and the actual movie having a bunch of sequences that do fit together nicely and coherently, and it conveys the message really well. The only thing I guess like you could say, it's more of a nitpick, but the only thing I guess you could knock from this movie is the fact that it ends really kind of abruptly with them going off the island. But I feel like you could just kind of wave that aside and say that everything did get resolved in the end. Since, well, they take Dennis Entry was already stopped by that time, and they just have to get off the island. And that's very much like it. And honestly, nobody would endorse their park, like nobody would endorse Jurassic Park and all that. That is just how it ends, and you know, you can nitpick it as being kind of abrupt, but I feel like it's just fine on its own. It's a fine ending. It's not like unsatisfying. It's just kind of like really abrupt. Doesn't really show like that much of a resolution. The resolution is like fucking a minute. That's the resolution here. So yeah, it's not. I don't know what much more to say about the plot. It's not exactly the highlight of the movie either. It's just kind of. The movie is just really, really enjoyable. That's all I really gotta say about it. Like, it's iconic. The scenes are good. The dinosaurs, the characters are written well. The plot is really tight. Like I do sound like I'm having problems with it, but I really don't. Like it just like there's two things. One, it's a production issue, which is completely different from the plot, and the other is a nitpick, the abrupt ending, where like, oh yeah, it kind of ended abruptly, but it also resolved everything that we had going for it, and you're left unsatisfied. So it's not a bad ending. But yeah, no, like that's really all I gotta say about it all. It's just, it's a really amazing movie. It's if you haven't watched it yet, I don't know what you're doing. Go sit down and watch Jurassic Park. Just go for a while. It's free on YouTube. I don't know if YouTube does just movies anymore. I at least like searching them up. I don't know. But if it already becomes free again, go on ahead and check it out, or fucking pirate it. I don't really care. I have a full disc set of the entire Jurassic Park collection except Dominion. So I will be like, so that's how I'm watching them all. But yeah, Jurassic Park is just a revolutionary movie for the industry in general, and to boot, it's a really entertaining movie and really just well written all around, and not doesn't have a lot of stuff. The characters are good, the plot is good. The dinosaurs, you can hear the dinosaurs, you can see dinosaurs, and you might get a little bit extra from the characters being written well. That's all. That's really it. So plugging in, I keep saying plugging in. Putting Jurassic Park on the tier list, it is an S tier. That's all I gotta say about it. It is a definite S tier movie. I wouldn't put it in another category. It's just pure S tier. You get exactly what you want, and you might get more from it. Who knows? But it's just a cult classic, fantastic movie that if you haven't watched, you're doing yourself a disservice. So yeah, we'll be reviewing The Lost World soon. soon-ish. We will be reviewing just about Camp Cretaceous season 3 in at least the coming days. You should be seeing that. So stay tuned. And yeah, no. Mini face back. Sorry for the wait, everybody. I don't know when this episode is coming out, but it should be coming out at some point soon. I don't know if I can know. You'll know when it's coming out when all this comes out. When you'll see like 3 episodes coming out in the span of like maybe it's like an hour or something. That I know the algorithm doesn't really like that, but whatever, right? Who fucking cares? I need to set these episodes out. So, what did you guys think about Jurassic Park? I know everyone's fucking watched the movie. What did you guys think about Jurassic Park? Leave in the comments below. All of our socials are in the description. And fun fact, we have new socials. Or at least DA Entertainment and myself have. We now both have Bluesky accounts. So I don't know if you guys know this, but we are. But I've said that we have been suspended on. At least the MediaFay account has been suspended, and I think I mentioned this a while back in an episode. But I can't get it back. Like, I can't get it back. So I don't want to. And there's a D Entertainment Twitter account, but I don't want to be, and I don't want that to be seen as bad invasion, because it's been clearly stated in the MediaFay account that it's part of the Entertainment. So instead of doing that, I will be moving to Bluesky. We'll still be on Instagram, but if you want something like a Twitter account, go follow the link below for the Entertainment Bluesky account. Also follow me on Bluesky. Who knows? I don't know. You might like it more, but yeah, we are on Bluesky now. So yeah, that's about it. See ya.